Hello creative friends, this is Joy coming to you with another art journal page. I decided to just skip the intro on this particular video and get right to it. Here I just have folk art metallic blue paint that I decided that I wanted to put on this page, but I wanted it to be watered down so that you could still see the colors and the pattern underneath. This is a journal page that I had glued a napkin onto quite a while ago and then really didn't know what to do with it. I used watered down gesso to put this napkin on this page and kind of cover over it a little bit so it wasn't as bright. And then ever since then I've just been looking at it wondering what the heck I'm going to do with it, and today I decided was the day to do something with it. I wanted to put a darker blue along the edges of the page, so that's what I'm doing here, just making a little bit darker on the edges and then trying to fade it into the page itself with a little bit of water. Like I said, I just wanted it to be a light wash of blue so that you can still see the pattern and colors underneath the journal page. And this journal page ended up being more of a collage type page, but that's okay. And this is a color block ink pad. This is kind of a metallic color as well, where I decided to stamp stars all over the page. And I have another stamp there that I was also going to use on this page, but this Inca Doodle Doo or whatever it's called, but it didn't really show up, so I decided not to use it. Here's an image. It's a shooting star that I found in my stash that I decided that I wanted to do this as a tape transfer. So I put packing tape over it. I burnished it really good on the front and then on the back. And then I end up spraying the back of it with water and then working the rubbing and working and peeling the pulp off of it, the paper pulp. And then what you're left with is the image. Like I was saying, this is more of a collage journal page. I went in my stash and found some elements and some quotes and things that I felt all worked well together on this page. So to complete this page and put on this page. So mostly this is more of a collage type journal page, but I'm happy with the way that it turned out. And there I'm showing you what it looks like up close and then trimming around the excess to trim off any excess tape. It's still a little sticky, but not very sticky. So here's some collage page that I'm using to put the different pictures and quotes and things I found down on my page. I kind of off camera decided what I wanted to put on this page, how I wanted the images to be arranged, and then of course now I'm putting them down on the page. And I really like the way this page turned out, and it's about accepting where I'm at in life, who I am, what I have, and stop trying to search for something more. It seems like I'm always searching for something more, but never seem to be finding it. So this quote that I found that I was going to put on here says, "Your search is over." And there's a couple other quotes that I put on this page too. There's these little stars like the one I'm putting down, and some planets that I got out of a magazine, and each of the stars and each of the planets actually has like a quote on each of them, a positive quote, and I thought that was kind of neat, and I thought that would work well with this page, so I decided to put them on the page. And here I'm trying to figure out the placement of the stars and the planets. And then my other quote that I wanted to put on this page. I do have close-ups at the end where you can see more closely what the titles are that I put on here and the elements that I put on this page. The only one that doesn't have a quote on it is that middle one there, because that's just a picture of Earth. But each of the other planets and the two stars do have quotes on them, so I thought that was kind of neat. And like I said, I was really happy the way this turned out, even though it's mostly just a collage journal page. But I think that, you know, all the elements worked well together and kind of told a story and had some positive quotes on the page, which always makes me happy. I've got a box that's like full of quotes. I always try to find and collect positive quotes to use in my art journal. And sometimes I will write them on there, but sometimes I will just glue them down as they were cut out of the magazines or wherever I found them. And here I just am adding some more of those stars with the Stays On ink pad. The other ink pad that I was using, it seemed like it took a really long time to get those stars to dry, so I didn't want to feel like waiting for them to dry. The Stays On dries fairly quickly. And then here I just have a Stabilo pencil where I decided to trace around everything, and then with a little small paintbrush and a little bit of water went around each of the items that I outlined, each of the elements that I outlined on this page, and kind of made it, you know, like a shadow. The three sayings or quotes that I put on here, I made it just kind of like a border around them, but around the planets and the stars, I started out just making it kind of a border around it, but then I felt that it was like kind of harsh and needed to be like drawn out more and faded out, so it looked more like a shadow and less like an outline of each of the planets. So you can see here around that first planet and star, I activate the Stabilo pencil and it ends up being like an outline, and then I decided to go back over them and fade out the Stabilo pencil so it was more of a shadow and not so much of an outline. I think I did it to a couple of these and then decided to go back and make it less, you know, prominent and not so dark. Yeah, here I go back over them, and I'm trying to just fan out some of that Stabilo pencil so it's not so stark and dark. But this page turned out, like I said, pretty well. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. I just, like I said, had that, you know, page with the napkin glued down on it, and thought, you know, I didn't really have a lot of time to work on a journal page, but wanted to do something. And this, you know, seemed to be a quick, easy little journal page to put together. Once I, you know, painted the blue on it and then started gluing down these elements and going around them with the Stabilo pencil. There was areas there where I was having to use a paper towel to kind of wipe up some of the Stabilo because it was just too dark and too much. But and using my finger to kind of rub it out a little bit as well. But I have a lot of different pictures and words and quotes and sayings and all of that in my stash from magazines and wherever else I could find them. So I've been wanting to start using more of these on journal pages because obviously, you know, if I'm saving these items, it's because, you know, I enjoy or I like the pictures or the quote or whatever, and it'd be nice to get them into an art journal page where I can enjoy them more than just being stuffed in a box. But I have so many, I don't know if I'll ever get through using them all. I doubt it. I just went through another big stack of magazines this weekend and added a whole bunch more to my stash. So yeah, never seem to have enough, but yet always have more than I seem to ever, you know, end up using. So this is pretty much the art journal page. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel or like or leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. So until next time, thank you for watching.